We're up. All right, everybody. This is another episode of For the Old Breed. I'm Frank, and this is Furby. What's up, Furb?
Not much, man. Not much. Nice day out today.
All right. So listen, man. We had a good conversation. Last time. So we're gonna talk about the same thing, the stuff that I like to talk about. Of course, I always love to talk about the differences between men and women. I love to talk about business. Okay. Whatever you want to talk about. What do you want to talk about today?
To be honest, usually, man, you know how our relationship is. I come pick your brain, then I run my mouth. You give me some feedback.
Mm-hmm.
So, you always talk about status. And we kind of touched on this the last episode.
Yes.
And I kind of compared it to respect. Usually, when you say status, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you what gave you the experience, or what experience do you have to make you come to those conclusions? Because I know you stand on the things you say. You say it over and over. It's the same. You never change who you are in a way of where it's like you falter away from your morals and ethics. Where did you learn and understand clear that status, that respect type of thing as a man, and that alpha male that you always talk about?
So I think I learned a lot of it, man, I just learned in the Army, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Because, when I was in the Army, I had that type of position to where I was in charge of a lot of dudes. I just took it for granted. I was like, okay, well, this is just my job, right? But I found out that, what I always say is leadership educates. So you become a leader when you lead people, and people have certain expectations of you, So I actually learned that in Guatemala, to be honest with you, man. I went to Guatemala with the Army.
Yeah.
We ran a basic training. So while I was over there, these people were looking at us like we were from another planet, basically. And I'm like, what the fuck? What's going on here? So what I did, man, of course we have the phones. I went into YouTube, and I got into basically, really, it was just pickup, like men picking up women. That's how it started. The psychology between men picking up women, right?
Okay, got you.
And then from then on, I took that and I took clinical psychology. I started to study clinical psychology, evolutionary psychology. I put all that shit together, and I was like, I basically had a final product. So everything that I've been through in my life, from running my business to being in the Army to being married, made me the man that I am today. So when I go out, my frame in my head is strong. I feel like when I go out, I feel like I'm the most interesting person there. In my mind.
Okay.
It's not like it's in my mind, bro. I just feel confident. I don't know what it is. It's something that's it just comes out from. I know I'm competent. Men are competent. If a man knows he's done something in his life, he's competent.
Right.
Like when a fucking movie star comes out, everybody kisses her ass because he's a movie star. He has that certain, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That status.
He's got that status. Okay. It's like they don't even have to try. I've heard, how Drake picks up women. This is what I've heard. He basically invites a shit ton of women in one big ass room. He doesn't even talk to them. He just invites a shit ton. That. Yeah, because he's fucking Drake.
Yeah, I heard about
what the fuck?
But you think that's true? I believe it's true.
It's definitely true. Why would they?
Why wouldn't it be true?
I mean, look at Leonardo DiCaprio. He doesn't date, I think, any older than 25. As soon as they turn 25, she's out. She gone.
Why are you saying that?
I'm just saying that's him. Obviously, those are very, very high status men. Okay. That's the highest status. Okay. That's the less.
So there is certain levels to the status. Okay.
Listen,
break this down, P, because I hear you talk about this all the time. So that status, there's certain levels. It's not like, okay, you're just this guy. You made it to this amount of. Is it a money thing? What is it?
It's a money thing. It's an experience thing. Okay. It's an attitude. It's a belief that you have within you. You know what I'm saying? It's like I said. It's like, look, man, you were in the Army. Mm-hmm. There's nothing harder, the hardest things I did were in the fucking Army. Bro, you can tell me all day long that you did this and you did that and life was hard. Bro, I was in a fighting position for 9 days in Afghanistan. Right. All right, we got attacked the third day. I lived in a fucking hole. I had to shit wherever I could on a fucking mountain, on a combat zone.
Mm-hmm.
Then not just that, just the entire lifestyle of the Army, especially when you're on deployments, especially when you're doing combat patrols, the real shit. You get dropped off in fucking Chinook into unknown territory. I've already done it. I've lived it. So nothing's gonna be harder. I'm here. I feel like I'm on easy mode. This is fucking easy mode.
Okay.
I just gotta work.
I just
gotta work because now I'm not in the Army anymore. I have to develop status. So I have to make money because there's certain things that I want.
So how do you develop status? How does a person develop status?
You develop status by working hard and doing things that people don't want to do. I mean, that's why it's so hard being in fucking business, because you gotta, you know this.
Yeah.
You gotta eat shit for a long time.
Yeah.
The problem is most people are not willing to eat shit.
Yep.
You know, it's
or
like
look crazy, or look like the person that's doing the same thing over and over and over, and it doesn't look like it's gonna pop. You know what I mean? You're right, bro. Eat shit. You gotta keep going.
It's a process, man. Success is a fucking process. I know this why. So experience. So I built my business with my ex-wife. It took us 24 years to get to where we are. So when people look at me, they're only looking at me for the stuff that I have now. They're not looking at the time that it took for me to get here from point A to point B. That's the fucking big problem.
Right.
I'm pulling up in a motherfucking nice suit in a motherfucking Porsche with fucking smoking hot chicks next to me. It's like, yeah, bro, this wasn't overnight.
Exactly.
And I'm still fucking grinding because now I'm trying to get to the next level.
Are you willing, and are you here now to tell people and share what it does take to get to pulling up in a nice car and having a good business partner and because we talk about that a lot. It's like, look, a lot of people see what they see, but you're big on you want them to see what the ingredients, how it's going, not the sauce, but what it takes to go get the ingredients, to actually go get the, you know what I mean, the meat and the bones of it. So what is some of those things that it takes, bro? Like, I know consistently, I know consistency, working and just knocking it out, but what are some of those mentalities? What are some of the things you've had?
All right, so we started a second business. We started a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Academy, right? So the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Academy, it's actually, I'm a partner, I'm an investor, but it really goes to my son.
Right.
So this is totally separate. So, I don't want people to, because as far as like my politics, I wouldn't want my politics to affect this business. These are my politics. This is the way that I think. But point being is, I told you, I started this fucking podcast because I want to help better young men. I want to show them that there is a way of doing certain things, right? So I started this business. We've had the business for about a year. We pay our bills. The business is doing great. The numbers are looking good. But as far as it making money, like I'm getting paid, no, I'm not. But it will.
Yeah.
It will. It just takes time. It's just, for us, it's a thing of, we're getting more and more students. Traction. And then it just starts to snowball. So I think within the next year, let's say within the next 6 months, we're going to be fucking right on the money. But okay, so I told you, offline, had a problem with the fucking air conditioning. It was fucking hot as balls in there.
Yeah.
The parents were complaining. This is an entrepreneur thing. This is a fucking super simple entrepreneur thing right here. Dude, they were all red. I was like, I'm going to lose my fucking members because they started to complain. The fucking kids are sweating their balls off.
You need an air condition in any type of gym in Georgia.
Bro,
anywhere in America at this point.
Yeah, we bought fans. We did all kinds of shit to try to bring the temperature down. But, there was a heat wave.
Right.
So I was like, all right, fuck it. Let's buy portable units. Bought the fucking portable units, right?
Yeah.
Okay, ordered one. Hey, what do you know? It didn't come in. It got lost. We could have waited another week. I said, nah, fuck that. I'm going to Home Depot right now. I'm buying 2 portable air conditioning units. We're going to set them up. We set them up. It lowered the temperature. It was still fucking hot as balls. Right. I'm like, I got to fix this shit. I got to fix it. I got to figure it out as an entrepreneur, as a small business owner. I got on top of the fucking roof, Fur.
You sure did.
I looked at the fucking roof. It's made out of tin. I said, there's got to be something I can do about this. Because I was thinking inside. But then I was like, let me go outside. So, went to Home Depot, I bought a paint that covers that fucking tin roof.
Yeah. And for those that don't know, the tin roof it literally retains the heat.
Yeah, it's like a hothouse.
It retains the heat. Yeah. Just breaking it down. So y'all got the...
Yeah.
What did you do?
I went to fucking Home Depot, I bought the fucking paint, I got my dumbass up there, my son and we painted the rooftop. My point is, I could have waited. I could have paid somebody to do it. I could have waited and then, let me get a quote. Nah, fuck that. You take action right there, right now. We dropped the temperature.
Initiative.
Yeah, take initiative like what we did in the Army.
Yeah.
Take action. Take the objective. Bro, we brought that shit down from 99 degrees to 81 degrees.
God damn, that's a big difference.
That's a huge difference.
That's a big difference in a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym.
And just for kids' classes, man, I gotta have my kids gotta be comfortable, man.
It's comfortable in there now.
Cause when I have kids' classes, the parents, they don't leave. They're there, so it's kind of like a show. Like they're watching you teach their kids jiu-jitsu. They're watching every move you make, so it's kind of like a show.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
So these are the things that I'm telling you guys. It's like, this is the shit that I'm doing. It's like, this is fucking grinding. This is the shit that you don't see. When I'm here at fucking 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning doing a fucking rush job, because it has to go out, I fucking do it myself. I'm not paying somebody to do it. That's the fucking point. Like, people think you go into business, you're going to work less. No, you're going to work double, triple. Because there are times where you're not fucking getting paid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
A lot of times. Yeah.
Most of the time,
a
right?
A lot of times. We talked about this offline. There's a difference between making money and getting money. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes.
A lot of those times you are working those jobs. It's like, I may not be getting paid right now, but this is where the money gets made. Like I said, man, every time you go somewhere, you handing out your brand, handing out your shirt. And I picked up on that. I'm like, man, he's making money right now. Mm-hmm. He may not be getting the money, but he's making money. Mm-hmm. Somebody's going to wear that shirt. Somebody's going to do it. And it always makes sense. It always makes sense. It always comes back and makes sense when you do that.
It's guerrilla marketing on the purest fucking level, man. Like, I'm giving you something. Psychologically, you owe me because I just gave you something. You see what I'm saying?
At least to Google it. At least to look it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Some people
or wear it. Yeah. Some people going to wear it to the gym.
Yeah.
I love running in these shirts. Mm-hmm. I love running in them. Somebody always asks me something about it. It's they're conversation pieces, too.
Listen, even the simple business card, which a lot of people don't do anymore because everything is on the phone, but it's like, if you're going to give somebody a business card, give somebody a quality business card. I see these shit that it's like toilet paper. I'm like, I'm going to grab that fucking piece of shit and it's going right in the garbage. My business card is thick.
I know.
It's nothing but branding. It's
your business card, you know what? I know what it reminds me of. Mm-hmm. Those big coins you get in the military for doing shit. Because I got a couple of them. And when I'm looking at your cards, I was like, God damn, these cards you want to put on your dresser.
Yeah,
you
man.
know what I mean? Because they look nice.
And I got business cards that I do at my business. I do them for like $2.25 a card because they're basically wooden cards.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
they're nice though.
If that doesn't fucking make an impression, I don't know what the fuck is. Yeah. You know, I had a guy one time hand me a metal fucking business card. He was probably paying $3.50, $4 a card. But imagine, you talk to an important client, that dude's not going to lose that fucking business card.
He's not.
He's going to keep that shit forever.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying?
You're absolutely right about that, bro.
So these are the things that I like to talk about. Now, as far as when it comes to, and I was actually talking to my business partner about this today, about this thing with, you know, men and women and all that good stuff. As far as like for young men, for guys, start a fucking business. Start a business. You know, what I always tell you, don't chase women, chase excellence. If you chase excellence, the women
gonna come.
They're going to come.
You've been saying that shit for decades.
They'll come. So, like I said, that's what I try to do in my life. You know, like, I fucking just try to focus on what the fuck I got going on because all that stuff is going to come with it. You know, but all these guys out there are like, dude, you're just trying to get ass.
But what do you want though? What do you want? See do you just want ass? What is it that you want?
Man, everything that comes along with
what is excellence is a better way of asking
excellence.
That question.
Listen, man, but that's the thing. It's like people continue to say this thing about, well, money doesn't bring you happiness. I'm like, bro, you got money, you can manipulate the world. That's all I gotta say.
That's a fact.
If you got money, you can manipulate the world. So if people say that money doesn't bring you happiness, you're out of your fucking mind. Because I've been poor. And I fucking hate being poor.
Yes.
Right? But when you got money, you can do what you want when you want. You make your own rules. You make your own rules when you have money. Right?
Yeah, to an extent.
But at the same time, you got to be willing to fucking sacrifice. You got to be willing to fucking grind. You got to be willing to be working 24/7. I mean, I go to sleep and I'm thinking about shit. Yeah. You know, I'm sure you're the same way.
Right. Yes. You know.
Right.
That. You know that.
You got to.
Yes.
You got to. If you want to be, you know, if you want to be a savage man, you got to do savage shit. Right.
So for you want so if I'm getting this, you definitely want to continue to be working and bettering yourself. I know that.
All the time.
I know that, but
All
I want
the
to
time.
be clear.
For sure.
And you definitely want to be rich for sure. See, a lot of
For
people,
sure.
that's something that we should talk about. A lot of men, don't understand, like, they haven't been clear to themselves, say, I want to be rich for sure.
Yeah.
Like once, you know what I mean? That is an important thing to say, because some people think there's some type of stigma that there's some God out there that wants you to be poor. You know what I'm saying? That we get in our culture a lot. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, no God wants you to be poor. Nobody
Yeah, but
wants
the
you
media
to be poor.
the media tells us that, Fur. The media fucking tells us that shit all the time. They think it's a fucking 1960s fucking civil rights movement. It's fucking 2022, Fur.
What do you mean by that?
Motherfucking Rick Ross is fucking a billionaire.
Right.
Jay-Z is a fucking billionaire. Oprah's a fucking billionaire. Rihanna's a fucking billionaire. I mean, anybody.
Even the what's her name? The Kardashian sister. You can't even hate on them. They making their money.
I mean, listen, I'm not telling you that the fucking, the world is
You
perfect.
can't hate on the Kardashians. You heard what I said, B.
She's a billionaire. I'm telling you, it's like.
He don't like the
what,
Kardashians.
I just think that's what, I think a lot of women, because I hear this, especially from younger women, they always say, well, what about Kim Kardashian? Even she said she's fucking unhappy about her life choices.
So
she's talked about her life
happiness
choices.
So happiness is in your definition of excellence as well.
I mean, obviously.
Okay.
I mean, with happiness comes sanity,
Okay.
right?
So it's you're gonna have to have your finances right. You gotta continue to move like a machine,
Always.
well-oiled machine, and you gotta have some happiness in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you got to do hard things too. You got
to challenge yourself.
No, and you got to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You got to fucking work out. You got to run. You got to push your body all the time.
Health.
Maybe go fucking camping. I don't know. Spend the night in the woods. See what it's like.
Yep.
Do hard things.
Do different shit.
Right? Go without.
Leave your comfort
right?
zone.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But in this era where everything is computerized, and there are fucking geeks that are fucking making money online. The problem is that fucking geek can get out of a fucking Lambo. You're still a fucking geek. I'd rather get out of a fucking Lambo and be like that. I want to be like that motherfucker. That's what I want to be.
All right, be clear. What are you talking about? What's the difference?
What's
the difference?
You get more respect. Respect is status.
You know what I'm saying? What is the difference in the geek, the IT geek that got out the Lambo, and who's this other person that you're saying? Describe this other person.
The successful guy that's charismatic, that has an incredible...
Okay, so your bravado.
Yeah, a great personality that attracts people. Nobody's attracted to some fucking goofy bastard who's never done anything hard in his life.
Yeah.
Nobody's attracted to that.
Okay.
They're always attracted to the fucking, the hero story, right? When the guy turns into a hero. What's it called? A hero's journey. Starts from nothing and then becomes somebody, like Batman, right? Well, that motherfucker was a billionaire, so fuck, not him, but... The hero's journey, right?
Like LeBron James.
There you go.
Like LeBron James.
There you go. Or let's say Michael Jordan. For me, Michael Jordan, because that's more my era.
Nah, we're going to stick with LeBron.
Fuck LeBron. I like
bro, you ain't
Jordan.
finna do that over here.
Jordan's
LeBron,
the king. Jordan's the king.
Jordan is not the king.
Come on, bro.
LeBron is. We're not going to do that, Pete.
All right.
We're not going to do that.
Well, you're a basketball guy, so I respect it because I like European
LeBron
football.
is an excellence guy. Fuck basketball.
Listen, he's a billionaire.
He's an excellent
definitely,
guy.
listen, yeah, great. So yeah, man, all that stuff, all this stuff that we're talking about, it's like, yeah, you gotta better yourself. If you want to be better, you gotta work for it. Work for it. Put the money in. And listen, at the same time, if you are that geek that's making money on crypto or whatever the fuck you're doing, that's fine. That's fine. I'm talking about for the guys, like I said, it's called For the Old Breed for nothing.
The old breed.
It's about men that like to be men. That's it.
Okay.
I like being a fucking dude. I like being a dude.
What are some of the characteristics of a manly man?
Having your own opinions and standing by them, being in fucking hard situations, having a fucking hard life, living a hard life.
So
you
already disqualified if you didn't come from a hard life.
I mean, if you haven't lived a fucking hard life, fucking do something, like I said, do something hard.
Okay, got you. So you don't have to be in that's a good point that people don't think about. You don't have to be in a fucked up, born into a challenging or fucked up situation to challenge yourself. For instance, like your son Elijah, who's a beast at
Yeah,
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
He may have not. He may have had his parents in his house, and he's seen a good businessman, but he's still always challenging himself. Every time I see him, he's doing something new or working towards. So that's a good point. Cause I was gonna call your card on that. I was gonna be like, what about the kids that we work hard for our kids to not have that challenging foundation? But you're saying your foundation doesn't have to be challenging for you to go out there and find other things that challenge you.
Listen, my son has had, he was raised by his mother and his father. He had a good childhood, he's a great guy, but he's taken Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu on his own.
Yeah.
And his dad didn't help him do it. He did it himself. But he did it himself because he had an example. He had a mother and a father that busted their asses all his life so he could have a better life. So that's how he got his work ethic. But that's the problem listen, we could even get into race right now. That's the problem with the African American community.
What's wrong?
The lack of, and the Hispanic.
What's wrong with the
Spanish,
the black and the Hispanic community?
Here in this country, the Spanish, and the African American, the lack of fathers. More fathers. We need more fathers in our home. We need more fathers. Why? Listen, think about this. A man, and I noticed this because I was raised by my mother, but I developed feminine characteristics. Like somebody would push me and I would start yelling and fucking getting all dramatic. That's not a male characteristic. Men are supposed to be stoic. Men are supposed to be under control. That's something that your father teaches you, not your mother. Your mother takes care of you.
Real, bro.
She tells you everything's okay. The father tells you you're a fuck up. Get your shit together. Get it right. Be tough. You see what I'm saying?
Get the fuck back up.
It's the dichotomy, Furb.
Right.
It's the dichotomy of women and men.
But you hit on some. What about those men like you and I who were raised by our moms? My stepfather came in my life as well, but it was a long time where it was just my mom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know exactly what you mean. You do get feminine tendencies. That doesn't mean they have to stay with you forever.
Exactly.
But I said it to say, what about those people that never had a male influence?
Join the army.
Join the army? Is that the only option?
And I can't even say that with a straight face anymore because the army now they're turning into like a social experiment too.
Yep.
I mean it's ridiculous. Yep. People are talking about it. Well, maybe some people don't want to talk about it. When I was in the army, I was in the infantry. It was all dudes. That's it. It was all dudes. Okay, why? Because men are built for battle, right? And then they integrated to where women could go into the infantry. Listen, I've said it before. If a female, wants to be in the infantry, you're not going to eat. You're going to be tired. You're going to be hot. You're going to be fucking ruck marching all the time. Yep. It's not a good life, man. It's a life of fucking pain. Right?
I already know. Yes.
And men are built for combat. Yes. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I always say about the differences between
men and
women. So
you basically saying you disagree with the
men and the women in the infantry. For sure.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. There was a lot of people that disagree with that. I don't think it's a good idea either. I would have never made that call. That's how I'm gonna say it. I would have never, in a million years, it wouldn't have happened if I was in that position of power. But I wasn't. You feel what I'm saying? So, but we do give our opinions, and I don't agree with it at all. There's certain things in a woman's anatomy that you can't control. That just wouldn't.
But even in the army,
that wouldn't make sense.
You know that even in the army for the integrated units, the units some of the units that you were in, right? You had females. Mm-hmm. They go into the field. After the third day, they have to go back because they have to be able to shower.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
I think it was 3 days.
Yep.
So for us, they don't give a fuck about us. We'd be out there for 2-3 weeks. Yeah. I didn't shower in Afghanistan, maybe once a month.
So do you think, or is it more of they're not capable, or do you think it wouldn't help the mission? I mean, I guess that's the same question.
There are certainly,
you think they're not capable of doing it?
I'm sure there are women that could do it, but winning our nation's wars is not a social experiment.
The juice is not worth the squeeze.
Yeah, it's about winning our nation's wars in battles, and that's what we want. But like I said, this is politicians fucking playing their fucking games. They've never done it, but they want to tell us how to do it. It's like, nah. But listen, everything is like that now. That's why I said you can't say
You
anything.
just said some shit. They ain't never did it. Want to tell you how to do it.
But listen, everybody will get canceled. That's why you can't say anything. That's why I was telling you this thing about on the last episode about the NBA and the WNBA. It's the same thing. I don't watch the fucking MLS. I could give two fucks about the MLS. The most competitive soccer in the world is in Europe.
Yeah.
In Italy and Spain and in the English Premier. That's where Messi's from. That's where Ronaldo, that's where they play at.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about the MLS. I could care less. And I'm like you when it comes to soccer. You're a basketball fanatic. I'm a soccer fanatic.
Yeah.
But I want to watch the very best.
That's all I want to watch too.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. But it's like you get fucking like you're hated.
But people now let's say this. You ain't getting hated because you got to remember when some of those people like those things, like let's say you like the Atlanta Dream, right? Mm-hmm. For instance, we deal with the nonprofit and everything. So back in the day, there was a Back to Basics Kids Foundation. They took these girls to go see the Atlanta Dream. And of course, we talking finances. We know why it was easy. It probably was a little easier to pull those strings than to get them to the Hawks, right? Mm. But that being said, I've always remembered and had a certain I like the Atlanta Dream. I want to see them win. You know what I mean? Because of that, and that's more of like a community feel. What about those people that love their clubs or they love their teams just because it's the community? They may not be the excellent team. You ain't into that. You only want to see the best, or
it's not that.
You're Chilean.
I was only giving you facts as far as the WNBA and the NBA because you can't have a chick that plays in the WNBA. You can't expect for her to make as much as what the players in the NBA make.
Who expects that? Who wants that?
Bro, it was all over the media. It's just the
who?
Same.
Who?
Bro, CNN was talking about it. They've been talking about it. This whole thing with the fucking gender, the wage gap. The wage gap is a myth.
Has something to do with the...
All that fucking bullshit.
Well, all right.
They've been lying to us.
Hold on. The wage gap is a myth?
It is a myth. It's been debunked 1,000 times.
Okay.
You want me to explain it?
Yes. For the people that's listening.
All right.
I've talked to you about this.
I already said it before, but I'll say it again. See if you guys can fucking marinate on this shit. So, they say for every dollar that a man makes, a woman makes 70%, right? 70 cents on the dollar. So for every dollar that I make, a woman only makes 70 cents. So if I have a business, if I'm a business owner, why don't I just hire all women and save 30%? See, that's why it doesn't exist. Not to mention the fact that you're talking about in fields that, like, the fields that you're talking about, STEM, engineering, mathematics, right? That's male dominated. Let's say teaching, nursing, liberal arts, that's dominated by women. So what they're telling us is, yeah, that's the reason why some men do make more. And as a matter of fact, not even now, they've done the studies, single women, educated women, actually make more than men. So the whole wage gap is a lie. Men work more hours. Men work more dangerous jobs, right? That's a fact. Why? Because women, at the end of the day, they have choices. If I can make more fucking money, dude, I'll work every single day, every day as much as I can. Most women, and I say most, so some women don't get fucking
most
hurt.
Women. Thank you, Pete.
They're like,
not all women.
They're raising children. They're maybe in a relationship. They got other shit going on in their life. So that's why I'm saying men and women are totally different.
You like to say that. You like to say men and women aren't equal.
They're not equal. They're different. They're different. I don't know if they're equal. I mean, there's a lot of shit that women that I can do that women can do. Vice versa.
Right.
There's a lot of things that in my business that my business partner does a lot better than I do. A lot better.
A lot.
Like the graphics, she does all that stuff.
Know.
So that's what I'm saying.
I'm talk to you about that.
So she's an asset. She's an asset. Listen, any woman is an asset to any fucking business. I'm just talking about when we're talking about facts. Capitalism is about competition. It has nothing to do with gender.
Yes.
And absolutely nothing to do with gender. So that's what I'm saying. That's why it's a myth. It's a lie. Is it with most women that are graduating? 70% of the people that are graduating colleges today are women. Black women are some of the most educated women in the United States, bro.
True.
So where's the inequality? Where is it? Are you telling me that I'm not gonna hire you because you're a woman? I don't really care. If which, like I already said,
I think there's particular cases where there is not equal opportunity, where there are some people that are just complete idiots that wouldn't hire somebody that's.
But
better
they're idiots. But they're
those are not exactly, and that's where they're not going to prosper, and that's where you see those people getting their ass sued and all that. So I do get where some of those people talk and they bring awareness to it, but I guess you're saying like statistically that shit doesn't even make sense, because how in the world? Basically, you're saying. The reason why they're not getting paid more is because the jobs that the women are working are lower paying jobs than what what statistically men are working.
Yeah, and
as a whole.
And we talk about it as men, we will basically be like, yeah, dude, you got to pay me like this much. Women, they are more agreeable. So if like, well, I'll pay you 15, they'll be like, okay, well, I'll take 15.
I don't know about that, dog. I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that,
but the studies might. Jordan Peterson, he's a clinical psychologist. He says that men are less agreeable than women.
Or is he just talking about particularly in the terms of agreeing to like salary, or are you talking about period?
Pretty much. I think many things, but salary is a big. It's a big one.
We're gonna have to ask the people when they watch this to leave a comment like, do y'all think men are more agreeable or women are more agreeable?
Listen.
I'm not gonna lie to you. If I was starting a business, I'd rather have women working for me. If they were the same exact quality of a person, the only difference was men and women. You know what I mean? I'm taking a woman.
Yeah, but because women are better socially. A woman, you can go into a room. A woman can read a room better than a man can. They're more socially calibrated. Why? Because women are about people. Men are about machines. That's why we make great mechanics, engineers, all that stuff. We build bridges. Because we're mechanical. In our brain, we're mechanical. Right? Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, people keep talking about equality. It's like, yeah, as far as like, men and women have the same rights. They have the same rights. Like, in America, like, what are things that women can't do that men can do now? What?
I'm trying to think. What
is it? No,
I can't think of one. And you want to know, we're going to kind of bring this up. Roe v. Wade, right? Because I had my own opinions on that. Because we did, on the Get Legit podcast, on our podcast, we talked about men's reproductive rights. You know what I'm saying? Did you see that episode? And we were talking about that. And a lot of people that's just a sensitive issue right now with women, because they feel like nobody should tell them they couldn't have an abortion. And you know, that's not what I'm asking your opinion. You can give it if you like. But the whole thing I was looking into, I was like, I looked at it as men don't have, we're going to talk about men. Men don't have any reproductive rights.
At all.
At all. It doesn't exist. Exactly. It doesn't matter. The moment you have sex with a woman, you forfeited your reproductive rights if that seed touches that egg. Period. Yeah. Legally, there's nothing. You know what I mean? If you don't want to think about it, there's so many ways. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think I can really think of. I know that's terrible, and that's the government suppressing women when they say they don't have the right to get an abortion. That's a system suppressing them. But if you're talking about rights that they don't have, that we don't, I can't think of any. You know what I mean? Now, if other people can, they should leave it in the comments. You know what I mean? Last time they was letting you know they wasn't fucking with your ass, P. They said you a little crazy.
All right, so as far as this goes, as far as Roe versus Wade, so if you want to be pragmatic about it, what's going to happen is the only thing that the Supreme Court is doing is bringing it back to the states.
Yeah, that's what. Yes.
So listen, we're going to look at it, be pragmatic. So California is a red state. So most likely, it's a blue state. I'm sorry, it's a Democrat. It's a blue state. So what's going to happen is you can go to California and get an abortion in California. But if Georgia, which Georgia's actually becoming a blue state now, if they decide to ban abortions here in Georgia, you just can't have an abortion in Georgia, but you can go somewhere else. I mean, we got 50 states.
And
we got plenty of Democrat-held states.
And you know what's another good thing, and I'm not saying that telling women what to do with their body is good, but another good thing about that whole overturning, in my opinion, was one, of course, yes, now the power is in the smaller government. And that's just, I don't know if you agree on that. I like the smaller government, the better. You know what I mean?
Of course, so less government.
That being said, like, now you have to pay attention to who your senator is. Instead of looking up here at freaking fucking frack, you know what I mean, at the top. But you have to pay attention to who your senator is. So who you're voting for makes a difference now, which I think that's going to put a more of effect on states like Georgia, like where it's like we're on the teeter-totter. You know, of course we're gonna be a blue state in no time. You feel what I'm saying?
Bro,
but
I can't even listen, man. I can't even trust our government at this fucking point. I mean, you know that Biden got 10 million more votes than fucking Obama. How does that fucking happen? Biden, bro. I mean, I'm no conspiracy theorist
that's
here.
your uncle, Biden, your uncle.
He's an idiot. Like, really, it's an embarrassing. This is the leader of the free world. And like I said, I'm apolitical. I don't give a fuck.
Do you feel the president of the United States is still the leader of the free world?
I don't really know, man. I honestly don't know what to say about
that position.
No, you're definitely an ambassador. Yeah, you could fucking send
You're an ambassador, yes.
You could send men to war. If you're the president of the United States of America, you can
but
send
the
men to war.
bravado of that position.
It's the biggest one. Of course it is.
Yeah.
Bro, you know how much...
Even with these guys in it?
You're still the leader of the free world.
Yeah, you are.
We have the most powerful military in the world, second to none. We can wage war on...
But war is not always just boots on ground no more, people.
I know, but the problem... You know what the thing is with that, though, Ferb? We've been fighting war for fucking 20 years. We literally make American Spartans here in this country. And that's what people don't really realize that. We got Fort Benning, Georgia, which is home of the infantry. We got fucking Fort Stewart. You got home of the 75th Ranger Regiment. You got 3rd Infantry Division. Like, this country makes warriors.
Yeah.
Because why? We've been fighting wars for the last 70 years, Furby.
Yeah.
We know how to fight.
Yeah. That's
right?
a fact.
And when American boots hit the ground, we fucking mean business. That's a fact. That's a fact. We've continued to subdue the enemy in Iraq and Afghanistan.
So you don't give any credit to the technology war and all these different type of social wars they're using with social media and different things like that?
Yes, the media's doing that all the time. I mean, we talked about the fucking COVID-19.
Right.
They've been pushing this shit for like fucking 2 years. Put thousands and thousands of fucking people out of work. Right? Yeah. But do you think bureaucrats give two fucks? I mean, Senator whoever, he still gets his fucking check at the end of every 2 weeks, I'm sure. Right? But they can tell us we have to shut our fucking doors. That's why I hate fucking politicians. Because they can tell me to shut my doors. I'm not getting any money. I gotta support my family. They're fucking up there telling me I gotta shut everything down. They still fucking draw a check.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? The hypocrisy in that?
That is a lot of hypocrisy. But anytime you're in a position of a governing body, that's gonna happen, bro. Especially when you're trying to push a democracy, but it's really capitalism. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people think.
No, man, they're pushing socialism, Furby. That's the thing, man.
No, they're pushing socialism, but what makes America great is capitalism. Okay, that makes sense.
Let's get a little bit more controversial here. You know that the Black Lives Matter, that's run by it's a socialist organization. It's run by lesbians that are anti-men. You know this.
Why do you? I don't know this, but
they're anti-men because they're anti-men. They'll go on the site. The founders of Black Lives Matter, and the fact that they just got caught buying 2-lot mansions, but they're socialist. You know what socialism is, right?
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay.
Thus explain.
The hypocrisy.
For the people that don't.
I mean, socialism and communism, it's killed over 100 million people.
Okay.
Mao Zedong killed 65 million.
Yes.
Stalin killed over 25 million.
Yes.
They were socialist communists. Hitler was.
But you're talking about what about the people who say, man, you just naming some of the worst types of socialism in the world, and I'm just asking.
Okay, look at Venezuela. Well, Venezuela is a fucking shithole. It's a socialist country.
Yeah.
Any country that's tried to be socialist, communist, it doesn't work because everything is not even. If I'm willing to work harder than you, that's why capitalism works. If I work harder than you,
then I should get more.
I should get more money. Yeah. I work 100 hours, you work 20. How come we should get the same? That doesn't fucking work, man. But that's how people want it.
No, that ain't how nature works, man. That ain't how nothing works.
That's why people envy people that have money. It's like that guy that was a fucking nobody, or that corporation that's a corporation. At one point in time, that was a small business, Ferb. At one point in time, but the corporations is like, corporations are set up to fucking make money, man.
Yeah.
That's what they do. That's what the intention of a business is. You make a business to eventually you can sell the business. Once you sell the business, you can retire. You know?
True. No, when is it a good time to sell your business? What are the signs? I know I'm big on buy low, sell high, and I always try to apply that.
When you can get the best price. I mean, if you can find whatever. I mean, opportunity waits for no one. It's the same thing with recessions. They come every 10 years. If you're broke during a recession, that's bad times for you. But if you got money during bad times,
yeah, you could buy everything.
You start buying everything in sight.
Yep, buy low.
You see what I'm saying? So every year, we got this housing bubble right now.
I know.
It's gonna burst. It's gonna burst.
You sold any? Do you have?
I sold my house
during this.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I thought about selling some stuff too, man, because it's so high, and that buy low, sell high mentality is just there. But I kind of like the property. Either way, with real estate is a little different because if you're renting it, it's beneficial either way. You know what I mean? But I could go take that when it drops, split that into turn 4 doors into 8 doors or 2 doors into 4 doors. Really, you know what I mean? But that's playing the market game.
Bro, I bought my house for $133. I sold it for $350. So I mean that's.
But how long did you have it?
12 years, 12, 13 years.
That's great.
Yeah, man.
That's
so.
Great. And lived in it.
And lived in it, put money into it, worked on it, all that stuff. I mean, honestly, I wish I would have kept it if I had to do it again.
Pig in the backyard, bro.
Yeah, I wish I would have kept it, man. I mean, I probably could have gotten more for it.
Now,
right?
Yeah, but that's what messes people up in the market.
Mm-hmm.
If you would have held, you know what I mean? You got some profit. I had when I was telling you about it. I bought a 8 bedroom duplex home. You know those old duplex homes they do? It was up in Columbus. Mm-hmm. Like they're really nice, they're huge, they look like Home Alone house. But I bought one, and it was tore up, and I got it on a probate deal. And bro, I tell the people on here, I paid after everything. I paid about $18K, $18K for this house. I didn't put one piece of wood in there. I just had somebody go over there and probably gave them about $700, cleaned it up a little bit, took a couple pictures, listed it, and not even a year and a half later, I sold that house for $180K.
That's awesome, man.
You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say, man, like you gotta really pay attention to your money in the markets. You can't just get caught up. Not you, but I'm talking to the people. Men especially, if we try to be for the old breed, you can't just get caught up in the news and the media and what they're marketing. You gotta remember they're marketing as well. But you know what I'm saying?
Listen, 100% Furby. Don't watch the fucking news. I don't watch the news. I have fucking Netflix. I watch fucking documentaries. I don't watch any news. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I know that Ukraine was invaded, but whatever. I know fucking, like I said, this fucking guy's an idiot. But you see that on social media.
Who, Biden?
What a bumbling idiot he is. Yeah. He fell off his bike, bro.
He fell off. Bro,
on the right foot. On the foot that you.
I don't like him.
Fucking
I don't like
foot
him.
on,
I don't like him at all. Don't like him at all.
Embarrassing,
don't like
man.
him at all.
Embarrassing.
I do not like him at all. I will say that.
All right. So anything else that you fucking want to talk about, man?
Hey, man. You know we just come and kick it. When I tap in with 40 Old Breed, I come in. Ask you some questions that ain't nobody else gonna ask you. You usually ask me some questions. Anything you gotta ask? Or
man. I just, like I said, I want you to give me tidbits of what, because I know you were fired up about something. I want to like pick through your mind and see what what is it? What? Because I always love the.
Okay, I get what you asking me. So, I got this thing that I always say, and I want to know if you agree. If you do agree, go in on it a little bit, bro. I say it like this. Well, I'm gonna clean it up. Vagina has no value whatsoever. It's all, you know what I mean? I say that all the time, but in America, they tell a lot of these women, like, because you have that physical part on you, you're bringing a value. No, it's what's attached to it. Especially if we're talking about the world we live in, where you're chasing excellence. And it's just, you see it every day. It's like, I mean, it's not that I think women should hold their head down or anything, but in America, they have women fucked up, bro.
Social media has women fucked up.
I don't think it's just social media, bro. It's almost the laws, bro, and we just talked about reproductive rights. It's like, and nobody's born to sit there and just impress you because of that physical part. And I guess somebody, I think we were talking to Rodney, and he was like, well, there's dudes that literally just chase that. And I'm like, man, them the motherfuckers, those are what you call them simps.
Yeah.
Those are the fucking simps. So how do you feel about that? Like, you know, coming back home, you traveled, you lived out of the country for a while. We understand the status. You hear it all the time. A girl having in a thing, I'm foreign this, foreign that, got a flag from another one. But you said it before, you was like, the most desired thing in the world is the American man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We're talking about value. We talking about sex roles, and I don't mean like sexual, but sex roles. What you got to say about that when it comes to like men that just value the physical sex and it really is on some simp shit, or women that think because there is value and it's like, look, somebody will have sex with you, but ain't nobody gonna be investing in you, taking care of you, leading you. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's no real value there, if that makes sense.
I mean, OnlyFans. There's definitely value to that. The porn industry.
Right,
I mean,
but I'm not talking about that.
The porn industry
is
booming
in a heterosexual relationship. When they're talking about two people together trying to do something, it's a lot of people that assume that because she's bringing that to the table, that's all she needs to bring. Do you agree with that or you disagree?
Well, I can only go back
because you always talk about the women staying home, taking care of the family. I guess that kind of teeters that line.
Yeah, but
I don't agree with that.
Psychologically speaking, men, even if you purely look at it as psychology, that basically men are in relationships, boyfriend, girlfriend, marriage, for sexual access. Right? You know that I think it's like 40% of the men in the world, I think it's either the world or the United States, procreate. Only 40%. The women, I think it's like over 90%, meaning having babies.
Well, duh.
But 40%, there's 60% of a society that they're not having sex with women, Ferb.
Well, I mean, to procreate.
I think to have sex. I think more women are having sex than men. The thing is that women are having sex with 10% or 5% of the population because, like I said, I think it's 10% of the population if you're in the six figures. So basically, these guys are boning all the women. That's pretty much what's happening. Right?
Hold on, break those stats down again.
I think 10% over 100,000 is 10%. Let's say over $250,000, I think it's 5% of the population. So, it's the high status men or the guys that have more money that are pretty much getting all the ass. I mean, guys.
But that's what I'm trying to say. Getting the ass it's the opposite to me. It's like getting the ass ain't really the goal though.
What do you mean? It is. What do you mean?
That's the goal.
Do men want to be with women or no?
Yes, of course. Cool, but there's more to the woman besides.
But I'm just saying, it's like you're saying vagina is nothing. Oh, of course.
No, but I'm saying
a good woman. Of course, there's many things. A good woman has many assets, not
but
just
the ass
body.
is always the goal at the end of the day.
Attraction, of course.
Don't pop out on no date with P.
I mean, what do we? I mean, we're men and women. Like I like women. You like women, right? You
yes,
like being with. Okay,
absolutely.
but that's the point. Yeah, of course.
Hey,
yeah.
What about these videos you see lately where the girl goes on a date with the dude, but she not gonna have sex with him, so he'd be like, all right, walk home.
Wait, are we talking about first date?
First. This particular one, this girl linked up with him, so I guess maybe they went on, I don't know, maybe they went on dates before.
Well, then that's why we can easily go back to status. If I pull up in a fucking Lambo and I pick her up, I take her to the best, not to the best.
That don't always happen. These guys are doing that, and there's these girls that are like, you know what, I got what my mom taught me. I'm not about to give up no ass on the first day.
What about the second date?
How many dates do you have to have before they give you some ass, P?
I mean, if you want to be like straight up about it, I'd say no more than the third date. That's it. Third date is done.
So third date, you ain't getting no ass. What you do? You just out of the phone?
Yeah, that's it.
No explanation?
Yeah, I'm done.
You ain't got time for the game.
I don't got time. But like I said, I'm not in a time in my life where I'm like looking for like a real relationship too. But I mean, if I thought, man, this chick is on and we're like really connecting, of course. If we're connecting, and I'm
but y'all
like,
gotta, you gotta get some ass before y'all can really connect.
Don't we all? I mean, come on, bro. Like, get out of here. Are we like adults here? Like,
we are adults here, but you say you like to come. You want me on for the old breed, so we can talk about the shit people don't want to talk about.
I think it just depends on the man. I mean, if you're willing to, wait 5-6 dates, I mean, you're gonna start to see the trend. It's like, yeah, this chick is just using me. I mean, you can tell. You can tell if a woman likes you. I mean, you really can.
We got some feedback on the last episode that I was on with you. And a lot of them was like, well, shit, Buddy sound like a sugar daddy. They said P sound like he sound like maybe he just a sugar daddy. And you say, if you getting used or not. Have you been used? If you was, how did you readjust?
For sure, man, for sure.
Tell us, give us some of the, because you be talking about simps. We know you an alpha dude, but you got to let people know that you ain't got to, if you simp down one time, you ain't always got to be like.
I've tied up, no, for sure. Listen, I've been on dating sites just like every other American. It's like, obviously some women are like straight up about like, hey, send me a Cash App or send me something.
Right.
But you can just tell by their manners. I'm like, yeah, this chick she just wants to get paid. She wants to just be taken care of.
But what's wrong with that? Ain't that what you want? A girl that just want to be taken care of?
Yeah, but when it's like the first thing that pops up, there's something off.
So
about
what
that
should
woman.
pop up?
All women want to be taken care of.
First thing, they see you pull up, nice car. You know how to talk. You travel, man. What's the first thing should come in their head? If they got to give you some ass by the third day.
I didn't say they have to, man. I mean, really, like I said, that goes with attraction. I mean, I shouldn't even have to ask. It's just like it's a mutual thing. Listen.
What is it? I shouldn't even have to ask.
Listen, it's a mutual thing. Listen, if a woman likes you, and for all you guys maybe that are not picking up on it, if a woman touches you, she likes you. If a woman is continually doing that to you, and she lets you, like, obviously you got to be appropriate. You got to use that man energy, right? You touch the lower back, right? You whatever, man. You can tell. Obviously,
keep going, bro. You giving that game. Come on, Suave Mente.
It's just certain hints. If you're like I said, if I go on a date, guys, I'm not sitting across the table. It's not happening. I'm sitting right next to you. Like, I know what my intent is as a man. I'm not sitting across. You're not my sister. She's gonna sit right next to me. That's it. And then she's gonna know when you gotta be an interesting guy too. It's like you gotta sell it.
Okay.
What did I say?
Hey, P giving dating tips. Y'all get your notepads out. Go ahead. You got it. Go ahead.
You gotta be confident. You gotta have swag. You gotta be in control.
You gotta have what, B?
You gotta be. I mean, you know what swag is, right?
Hell yeah, I seen you dress. P put that shit on there.
All right. You gotta make sure that she's okay. Obviously, you have to take care of her. If something happens to her, that's on you, right?
Yep.
And she has to know that you are that you're prepared for whatever.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely.
So just things like that. I think at the end of the day, guys, just be confident. Be confident, right? When you order, how you talk to people, she's watching you all the time. She wants to see if you're the real deal. Like I said, you could have all the money in the world. I know plenty of guys that have a shit ton of money that are terrible with women.
Now, you talking to guys' first date scenario type thing. First couple date scenario, right?
First date scenario, you would definitely want to...
Because you got to experience both sides. You
know
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, if anything, and even for the guys that are like, whatever... But listen, college guys, man, those guys are around it all the time. I'm talking about guys out of college.
Right.
Guys
trying to date, trying to find a mate, shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, dude, have you seen some of the fucking profiles that some of these guys put? It's like you're never getting fucking laid, man.
I've never been, I ain't never been on none of them.
Well, you're married. You've been married for 10 years.
So I haven't seen it. What the profiles look like? He said they're late.
I've been doing it for. I've been doing it for 2 years, man. So it's like, and I go out too, man. That's the thing too. That's especially now with computers, guys don't want to. That's the thing. They don't want to get rejected. Guys getting rejected, but it's gonna happen. That's part of it.
You think men don't like rejection?
They're afraid of rejection. That's why they don't approach women. That's why now it's all on computer.
Are you afraid of rejection?
No, not at all.
So you're saying the average man is afraid of rejection?
Well,
because I know I'm not afraid of rejection.
I've gotten rejected. I don't give a fuck. I'll just go to the next one.
I mean, in any way in business or anything.
Just go to the next one. Go to the next one. Go to the next one. That's it, man.
Girls are like buses. Miss one, next 15, one coming. That's what Gucci Man said. Just giving you some bars.
Mm-hmm. But even I would say this to you guys. Get a good profile. Don't fucking dick around with a chick. Like, don't be doing this fucking texting back and forth. Call me.